Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you. It feels like a homecoming. I've been here so many times, and we have this shared love of so much, starting with the Buffalo Bills. What a season. What a season we're having. So that's always a point of pride for us here from upstate New York, but also what an extraordinary Secretary of State we have, and I'm glad he's been on the ground. I know he walked the streets in a cold winter day with our mayor, but for him to actually see firsthand why I'm so passionate about communities like Rochester, and I see the incredible history that is unfolded, but also it gives us a chance to reimagine a spectacular future. So to Secretary of State Rodriguez, thank you for sharing my passion for the work that we're doing. Let's give him another round of applause. It's all about partnership, and I want to thank Malik Evans for being right at my side as we meet many of the challenges that this community is facing. We lean hard into them. We don't shirk our responsibility to talk about issues like how we can reduce crime in this city and bring more state resources and put a spotlight on what's going on here and helping us get through some of the tougher days, because that is the only barrier holding us back. That people want to be back downtown. They love the vibrancy, and we can handle this working in great partners. So let's give a round of applause to Mayor Malik Evans. You'll be hearing from our Assembly member, my great partner in Albany, Assembly member Harry Bronson. Thank you for being here today. Assembly member Meeks has joined us, Assembly member Lunsford as well. Let's give our state delegation a round of applause as well. Bob Duffy, the former Lieutenant Governor, I want to thank him for his work, not just in that capacity, but also as the head of the Rochester Chamber of Commerce and working in partnership with the mayor on this very project. I want to thank him for his efforts as well. Our county executive is here. I was with the county executive down the road, Mark Polenkars, when we had 82 inches of snow. I don't know how you missed that, Adam, but I just want you to know that if you get any kind of snow events, I'll be embedded with you in a command center as well, because I am experienced. So, but you are a great friend as well, personal friend, and I thank you for the sense of optimism you have about this county, ever upward, this attitude that we're going to always do better. So I love working with you as well as the county legislator as well. And Jim Brown, thank you for always making us feel welcome here. This is a beautiful venue, and I look forward to many more return visits as well. You know, I know this area. I had a chance to represent part of this region as a member of Congress back in 2011, and I've been here so many times. And I was here, you know, for many extraordinary projects, you know, coming here for groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings. I remember the Sibley building, how we talked about that, the transformation of that into a state-of-the-art, beautiful facility for people to live in. The Finger Lakes Workforce Development Center, just not long ago, we were just here back in May of 2022. Countless events that are really, you know, the envy of other areas. And I don't know if you know that, sometimes when you live in a community, you take for granted the assets that you have, the quality of life, the housing stock, the amenities, the Finger Lakes, how spectacular they are right out the front door. But I was always growing up envious of Rochester for another reason, is I grew up in Buffalo. Dad and Grandpa worked at the steel plant, and we were known as the blue-collar town, and Rochester had those nice white collars. So there was something special. You know, it was kind of, you know, how come they have the white collars and we have the blue collars? And you think about East, you know, Bausch and Lomb and Eastman Kodak, those legacy industries that really, you know, gave people a great quality of life, you know, good paying jobs. You can live the American dream right here in this region. So the decline hit Buffalo first, you know, with the loss of many of those manufacturing jobs, and unfortunately it hit here as well. And I remember how bad things got. I mean, areas like this, you know, our greatest export were our children. They're educated at phenomenal colleges, universities that we have throughout the upstate area, but particularly here. You know, U of R and RIT and so many others of our private schools, and SUNY Brockport and all the community colleges we have here. We are educating people and giving them the gift of an opportunity to have a whole new life because of that education. That education got my father and mom out of a trailer park, so I know the power of education. But then we educated workers for everybody else. You know, we exported our young people, and that was really a tragedy. So I saw the ups, the downs, and now we are coming back up. And I love to experience this because I can feel it. The vibe in this city is incredible. And we're talking about now what we know as the Rochester Revival. And it's unfolding here at this convention center. We look at it right outside the window of what's going on there. We did the River Terrace, which is part of Rock the Riverway. We weren't here too long ago for that. We're on track for phase 2. And this waterfront is spectacular. I mean, you probably go out of the river. How many cities would love to have this asset right out the door? I mean, it's not a river that's out in some area in the rural areas. It is right here as part of the heart and soul of this community. And the Rock the Riverway initiative, which is brilliant, we're seeing now. I was there at the Constellation brand headquarters. What a leap of faith in a sense, but a statement of belief in the future to have Constellation. They could be anywhere in the world, a global company like that they're going to be right here in the historic Aqueduct building. And I was just here, I cannot wait for that ribbon cutting. I do a lot of groundbreakings, which are nice. You have a shovel in your hand. I've got a lot of shovels, but it's the ribbon. The ribbon really counts because that's what it's done, right? I love the projects that are done. And again, as I mentioned, how we transformed, Sibley into the lofts, affordable housing, and also reconnecting neighborhoods. A lot of mistakes were made in the past. Communities that were divided, creating racially segregated communities because someone decided we need to put a highway right through the middle of it. And that work has been so wildly successful. Neighborhoods that were severed before, and in last year we put another $100 million toward the inner loop again, making sure that we right the wrongs of the past. We're trying to do the same thing in Buffalo, the Kensington Expressway, and severed the artery right through the heart of Buffalo. So we're also in the business of not just thinking about future projects, but trying to fix some of the wrongs of the past. And also, one of the other assets I think about when I hear, this is not just a great place to live, to work, it's also a great place to play. The strong museum of play is the envy of everywhere else. And it is one of our top attractions here. I attended many of the events here. We have an incredible zoo. We put $43 million toward the zoo. Can you stop nagging me about that now, County? Okay, you're finally going to stop nagging me about the zoo. But, this is a part where I've raised kids. I got a little granddaughter I'm going to take to the zoo someday. And these matter. These matter. These give you those stories that your kids will remember years to come. Those experiences that parents can give them. And Frontier Field. I mean, we love the Red Wings, and another $10.5 million invested there, bringing our total investment there to $12 million. And of course, the High Falls State Park. And I love our state parks, and so I spend a lot of time in them, from Letchworth to our urban parks as well. But we've also identified some areas, as the Secretary of State said, that need a little love, need a little attention. Some of these jewels that got a little varnished over the years need a little polishing, or you could just call it a blight, dilapidated eyesore. You take your pick. Let's be honest about it. I've gone by this countless times, and you just have to say, why does it have to be this way? The people who go by here, it's just you think about, I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember, it was a donut shop years ago, and I'm a donut fan, I would know that, but and there were many attempts to overhaul this over the decades. I mean, the ideas were there, it just couldn't get off the ground. And until Main and Clinton is vibrant again, Rochester won't be fully back. We know that. And to go by this, it really taunts people. It tells you there was once a place that people wanted to be. They were proud of it. And we lost that. We lost the luster. So that symbol of urban decay has been crying out for a vision for a very long time. But I'm pleased to say that today is a day everything changes. And this is no longer a dream. This will become the reality. And through our Downtown Revitalization Initiative, we have a plan, a viable plan to transform Main and Clinton. And we're going to be changing the name, putting it to modern use, making our downtown more walkable, adding more affordable housing downtown. This is something I addressed at a major conference just a few days ago. And I said, never before has New York State had a statewide housing agenda, a plan with real teeth behind it. That changes in January when I put forth our budget. I look forward to working with our partners. They understand that areas like upstate New York, Rochester, Finger Lakes once had plenty of housing because nobody was here. You know, when people left, same thing in Buffalo. You could always find a house because somebody just moved out. And now because people want to be here, they want to be in our downtown areas, they want that vibrancy. And I do believe that after this pandemic, there's something that was so profound to the human spirit that was missing, that connection, that people really are starting to want to be living in downtown areas. Whether they're young people taking up some of the new tech jobs that we're creating, or people working in healthcare, people working in our universities, or you get the empty nesters like myself, done raising kids. I moved down to a downtown in the middle of the city of Buffalo because I wanted to be with other people. And so that's what we're attracting. Now we have this opportunity. But if you don't have enough housing, it doesn't work. We have plenty of jobs. Unemployment is low. And now we need the houses to put people in. So we'll be rolling out those initiatives, but every community is going to have a major role to play, and we'll be talking about that. But today, we announced 5 major awards that really unleashes a strategic vision that revitalizes East Main Street and continues our incredible revival here. So the first award goes to Transforming Main and Clinton for $4 million. We'll be redeveloping the 4 historic mixed-use buildings. We'll have almost 5,000 square feet of ground floor space into commercial. That's going to be exciting. 11 workforce and affordable housing units on the upper stories. But that's not all we're doing for East Main Street. That's just the start. The next awards go to the adjacent block. So they might be considered the siblings of the ugly stepchild. So now we're going to bring them all together to be one happy family. And we're going to be, as I mentioned, polishing off these jewels and changing the nature of these historic buildings, because you never want to tear down buildings like this. You know, we saw enough of that demolition back in the 70s when people thought urban renewal was a good thing and you tear down beautiful buildings. And my God, in Buffalo, not far from where I live, they tore down a Frank Lloyd Wright building to put up a parking lot. So bad things happen in the past. We understand the value. This is what gives communities upstate and this part of our country its identity, its charm, its uniqueness. And that's what we have to continue to capture that. So let's keep the facades, let's keep those strong, let's polish them up, but also show that we can do so much more. Our second award is going to go to the Kresge Building, $1.2 million investment. And as you know, this is once a great department store. Everybody shopped there. This is the founders of Kmart, and it's going to be a place that's going to be spectacular. A 28-room boutique hotel. No one could imagine this. A boutique hotel, 150-seat restaurant. We're going to have nightlife, boost the nightlife that we already have, and also just make it a spectacular destination for people who want to come here. You know, you're one of a corporate headquarters here, or business that's being developed here. You're bringing clients and customers and prospective employees here. You put them up in a boutique hotel. You take them to a Red Wings game. You pop over to the museum. All of a sudden, like, everybody wants to be here. And I do believe that there are benefits that are going to come from having Micron right down the road as we continue to create supply chain opportunities, more businesses. I got a call from a business in England not long ago who wants to come to the Batavia stamp facility because of Micron being down the road. So it is not just in one geographic part of our state. The ripple effect of a $100 billion investment from a company that could have gone anywhere in the country, and mark my words, they are heading out the door to another state that I won't name. I'm glad we took them from Texas. But 50,000 jobs, they're not all centered in that one neighborhood. They're all over the place. So Rochester's part of that story. And so we get the new boutique hotels, we get the housing, we get the nightlife, and you know, the historic Edwards building. My gosh, what a great building this is. We're going to put $1.75 million into this. Built in 1908 in the Renaissance Revival style, again, Rochester Revival. And this has been on the Register of Historic Places for a long time. So similar to the Sibley building, we can bring new housing down there. We're going to have 114 market rate apartments, studio, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, also a rooftop deck. Everybody loves to be out on the rooftop, and also commercial space. And we're going to be providing also, this is interesting, 111 geothermal well fields that provide carbon-free heating. So we're leaning into our clean energy future and creating a great opportunity for heating and cooling and other downtown buildings as well. And the fourth award will go to the new Alta Vista building, a $1.3 million investment, transforming 4 vacant lots into a 6-story mixed-use building. Looks a lot better than vacant lots. 84,000 square feet of new construction, 76 mixed-income affordable apartments, also supportive housing for victims of domestic violence, something that's personal to my family. Our family started a transitional home for victims of domestic violence. Another 2,800 square feet of commercial space. So the fifth award, you also need a commons. You need a place to hang out, $1.3 million in the Main Street Commons. This is going to be done by demolishing a 1-story building and creating a new mid-block pedestrian walkway. That's going to be great. This will turn one long super block from St. Paul Street to Clinton Avenue, and this will be more like 2 blocks. And so it's going to be really special. And that's just about walkability. We want people to get out. We want them to walk. We want them to experience the vibrancy of downtown Rochester, and that's going to be great. So I would say these are great. I want them done now. So all of you who are the developers and the projects, and we're going to, I'm impatient. I'm probably the most impatient person to ever hold this office. So I've already walked down the hall saying, okay, what's the deadline? When do I get on my calendar that ribbon cutting? Because I really want this done. And the beauty of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative, and many of you know I was elected of office in a town of Hamburg in Western New York. We could do a project, maybe every few years you can invest another $1 million, then you wait another few years and you might get another $1 million. To have that amount of money concentrated into one small defined area, you can have a transformational impact like this. If they're all started simultaneously, then you're not into this, oh, someday it's all going to look better. It's going to look better at the same time. So you will go by here. You will feel and experience the difference. People will notice it. So let's get it started. Let's continue taking these projects to the next level. And to everyone involved, the chairs, Bob Duffy and the mayor and the whole team, I know probably you had hundreds of people involved in this because this was about a vision that this part of our city desperately needed executed. So this is a new era. This is a new beginning. And I'm really excited because, my heart's in this community. I cannot wait to see what the revitalized Rochester revival looks like. And today, it all begins. Thank you very much. And with that, thank you, everyone. With that, let me introduce and hear from our great mayor, Malik Evans, and see if he has any thoughts on this. And I'm going to suspect he's not going to say no.